Oh, what is going on, everybody?
Hello!
It is Pixel Partners, and welcome to the Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve. We're back. It's in full screen. It's in super fancy edition. If you're watching this through the playlist of later on in the future, and you're going through and it looks different, it's because this is now the official
localized
translated, localized version of the Great Ace Attorney. New logo, new title, Resolve, instead of the Resolver Yunusuke Naruhodo.
Yeah.
But so there are gonna be some name changes stuff. We went through a couple streams where we looked at stuff that was changed and all. So things are a little different than they were in the fan translation for some characters.
Yeah.
I don't remember that one.
Nope.
But we're gonna go ahead and continue from where we left off in our fine adventure.
Yes.
Going on to episode 4, which is gonna be called Twisted Karma and His Last Bow.
Ooh.
So let's go from the beginning. Let's do this, everybody.
It's been so long.
Pipe in hand, Sholmes looked down at the thick, rolling fog outside our window. I wonder exactly how many mysteries are out there, hidden within this bed of fog, he said. Indeed, a most bizarre incident, born of a curious advertisement. A hellhound's mad gallop through the shadows of a serial murder, an executed man's graveyard resurrection in the dead of night. And a commonplace killing in a small, forgotten room at the edge of town. There is, naturally, always another side to every case, of which most remain ignorant. And it is that other side which compels me to the scene of the crime, Wilson. So quickly now, take your hat and let's be on our way, my dear fellow. For our adventure is not over yet. Come, the game is afoot.
Okay.
Huh.
So that's the lead-in for this new case of sorts. 8 days after the earth-shattering trial and Cosmo regaining his memory, we were in the foyer of one of London's most luxurious hotels, the Great Waterloo Hotel. Ooh, fancy.
It is fancy.
The 1st of November, 10:24
They
a.m.
have 2 chandeliers.
Great Waterloo Hotel. Great Waterloo Hotel foyer.
Oh, Suzuto.
Professor Mikutoba is due to arrive at any moment.
Yes, I'm so glad we got here in time.
Suzuto-san hasn't been the same since what happened. Not that I'm surprised.
The truth about Kazuma-sama's father.
That
Do you suppose my father knew?
he was actually the mass murderer, the professor, you mean? I knew that's what she was thinking about.
If I were her, I'd be thinking about that too.
There's a good chance, I'd say. I mean, they did come here to London together 16 years ago, didn't they?
Yes, that's true.
And they went home not together, correct? Come to think of it, didn't you say that Professor Mikutoba knew about Cosmo going missing in Hong Kong as well?
That's right, but for some reason he wasn't at liberty to talk to me about it.
That probably means he knows then.
Sneaky, sneaky.
About Cosmo showing up here in London with amnesia and that he's regained his memory now.
Oh.
What? Hey, wait, that's the judge
That's
from...
the judge and her dad.
Hello, everybody. Dude, that judge is a big boy.
Oh, father.
Hello, Suzuto. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. We're delighted you've arrived safe and sound.
I think that was his voice, maybe.
That was more Heart Vortex's voice. Sorry, it's male Strongheart now.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Hello, Mr. Naruhodo. Very kind of you to take the trouble of meet us here. Oh, no, not at all. It's my
You gave
pleasure.
him more of like a slightly British accent, actually.
Listen, I can't remember at all.
It was like borderline. It was like Gregson, but not as.
It's a thin line, by the way. Here's because that's the judge. There ain't no doubt about that. That's the judge. So that was the judge, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta try to give him not as much of an old man Santa judge voice. God, what did I do before for him?
You just did the judge voice.
I did. I tried to make it
the classic
younger,
judge
though.
voice.
I tried to make it younger, classic judge.
Do your best.
We've heard all about your extraordinary exploits here in London, you know. The news is across the seas.
There we go.
It has?
Yeah.
And this is my original judge voice when we first played Ace Attorney.
I always look forward to reading the monthly reports that arrive with the steamships from Britain.
Oh, I see. Well, thank you very much. Who is this man? And why I feel as though I've seen him before?
Not used to standing, you know, out of a podium, out of a courtroom.
Not in fancy clothes.
Take it from your expression and you can't quite place me.
In that case, how about a little reminder, says Shiro.
Seishiro.
Seishiro. Firm tap should do it.
Yes.
A firm tap? What?
Here we go, then. I hereby pronounce the defendant, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, guilty!
Oh, you're, oh,
He's getting flashbacks.
Oh,
That's right. His gavel is massive.
yeah.
He looks so different.
The courts are now here. The trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
Look at him. It's so weird.
Your Excellency.
Hello, Judge Jigoku. How are you? It's been a long time. She's just all casual.
Good, you've remembered now. That really did the trick. Guilty!
You're having fun, aren't you? Only I was declared not guilty, wasn't I? And there was no laughing at the time.
So, London again after all this time. Hard to believe it's been 10 years. To be honest, I never thought I'd be back.
Neither did I. I didn't imagine Japan would ever be invited to an international symposium like this. Though really, I doubt anyone did, to be honest. It's all thanks to you, isn't it, Sashiro?
What are you talking about, Eugene?
Of course, Judge Goku. He must complete the set. He's the other man who, 16 years ago, came to London with Kazuma's father and Professor Mikitoba. He's the third visiting scholar.
His beard is so interesting.
Well, this matter of second legislators at the border took a lot of time. I must say I'm very envious of your ministerial status. You'd have to go through any of that, did you?
I knew you were jealous.
Sorry. Ministerial status? Yes, did you know? Sashiro here is also Japan's Minister of Foreign Affairs.
Oh.
It was a special insistence that allowed you to take Kazuma's place here in this study tour.
Guilty as charged!
Yes.
Oh, well, thank you very much. He's really every bit as important as he looks.
How did he get his beard like that? It's like in chunks.
Talent, skill,
We never have
magic.
seen we haven't seen any angles of it before, so it's just been forward.
Yeah. Yes, Naruto. I received a telegram from Lord Strongheart yesterday.
That's borderline Sherlock right there.
I almost went into it by
Maybe you
accident.
shouldn't try to give him an accent.
Oh, you did? It appears that something came to light in a trial you were involved with 8 days ago. Ah!
He's dying.
Dying. About what happened 10 years ago? That tragedy. Yes, could you tell us any more about it? No. Alright, how was the journey from Japan?
I'm trying to remember all the small details that's happened up until now, and I'm struggling.
What do you mean by small detail?
Like every teeny tiny little plot point that relates to the big picture. We probably should have went over it before we started recording.
I mean, there's many plot points, but when it comes to the big ones, you know, there was the telegram in the first game at the end, where really the outlier in that one was Gregson's name being on that list, because there's Assassin, there was Asogi, Kei Asogi.
I'm trying to remember who the A person was again.
The Assassin, Sashin, which was Giselle Brett.
Okay, yeah, that's right. But then, what about, there was like a collar we found in the old
that
flat
had I
that
think
had blood
that
on
had
it.
Van Ziex's
That had there was a B on it, I believe.
I thought it was tied to Van Zieks.
No, I think there was a B on it, which is what his first name starts with.
Maybe that was what it is. And there was something tied to Van Zieks.
It's just, it's been so long, it's all fuzzy.
Anyways, let's see how their voyage was. How was the voyage here?
Because my long-term memory is not great.
Well, 50 days is a long time by anyone's standards.
We have the opposite problems. You have short-term issues, I have long-term.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't as bad as when we first came 16 years ago.
No, that's true. I truly wonder if we wouldn't be drifting in the vast ocean for the rest of our lives. This time we followed the same route as you, so we were able to relax and enjoy the experience.
Ah, so you stopped in France's beautiful capital, Paris?
We did, yes. Though only for one night. And yesterday evening we left the port of Dunkirk for Dover.
I'd like to go to Paris someday.
Yeah.
There's some time for the symposium, in fact. It starts tomorrow.
It's wonderful that you were invited to attend such an important international event. I'm very proud of you, Father.
There's thanks to Sashiro here. 16 years ago he managed to integrate himself with Britain's Attorney General. I'm sure that's why I was invited. And I suppose you could say I'm something of an appendage by default.
Speak for yourself, Eugene. You were close friends with the professor of forensic science at the major hospital.
Yes? Well, I'd rather not dredge all that up, really.
No, there's been a lot of water under the bridge since then, but doesn't bring him back.
Cosmo's father, I suppose.
So about Cosmo's father.
Let's go talk about him, by the way. Let's talk
about that.
Hey, the professor, the killer who took the lives of 5 members of the British aristocracy, was actually Cosmo's father, wasn't he?
That's correct. Genshin Asagi.
Genshin Impact?
Genshin.
Genshin? I know that game.
That's his first name. Genshin.
Don't laugh at the poor man.
That's funny.
Just because it's a game that's big
that's
right now.
Massively popular. You knew, I presume, Father? Oh, there's a lot of people who are gonna get a kick out of that name.
Yes, he was a close friend at the time.
Genshin came to Britain as a new game.
Jesus Christ,
As a police detective, he was studying investigative techniques at Scotland Yard. I never understood what drove the man to commit such heinous acts.
It was a closed trial, so the public never knew the truth, and he was executed with little ado. To this day, very few people knew what really happened, even in our homeland. What about Kazuma? Did he know? Did he know the truth about his father?
That Genshin made a really big impact on history? No, of course not. He was told his father passed from sickness.
However, I suppose he may have had his doubts. Oh, why? As you know, I tried to guide Kazuma growing up as if he were my own son. And one day, he came to my office in the university and said, I've decided I want to travel to Great Britain and study there.
Dude, do you think he wanted to come here to investigate his father's death?
Is that his unfinished business that he wanted?
Oh.
I don't know. But when I looked into his eyes, I did know there was no way to be able to stop him. Something else came to light in that trial the other day, actually. No? What? Well, having disappeared in Hong Kong and been missing for almost a year, Kazuma has since turned up here in London working as an apprentice of Lord Van Zieks.
What? That's news to us.
So, Lord Strongheart's telegram neglected to mention that part then.
Hopefully they weren't not supposed to know.
Well, they know now. As you know, we both thought Cosmo had died on steamship during her voyage to Great Britain in January.
Yeah. But he didn't die. He's alive. As you knew, didn't you, Father?
I. In actual fact, no. What I did know is that when your ship docked in Hong Kong, you mysteriously vanished.
We sent a team of investigators to Hong Kong to try to ascertain what had happened, but to no avail.
But he's still alive? And here in London, you say? I never dared even to dream it.
Why on earth did the young man not make contact? The government and the police have been chasing clues fruitlessly for months now.
Well, it seems that he was suffering from amnesia.
What? Amnesia? The doctor sent?
When we first came across him again here in London, he didn't know who either of us were. I see. He only regained his memory 8 days ago.
This is unbelievable.
Yes, it's quite miraculous. Unless that was me too. I
think it was probably him.
Strongheart didn't let us know. I must speak with him urgently. I wonder how Cosmo's been these past few days. Would it be wrong of us to go and visit him?
No. Be his partner.
Great time in Britain.
That began 16 years ago now. It's a distant memory, really. It was Eugene here, Genshin Asagi,
It's a sogi, I know.
and myself. We were the original three.
People who didn't see the stream have no idea about that joke.
Asagi Kazoo.
That's a long story. Don't.
The first
don't
judicial
yell at us.
scholars from Japan to travel overseas to study.
Ocean voyages were not what they were, not what they are today, I can tell you. 16 years ago, things were tough for their generation.
Guys, it helps that he's younger because I don't have to go as raspy, so it'll save my voice a little.
Yeah.
Your father was an exceptionally fine medical student at Ume University at the time, you know, young lady.
Yes, grandmother told me.
He went to do research at a great London hospital to study autopsy. Practically unheard of in Japan.
Yes, it was an eerie place, sandwiched between the back of a prison and a burial ground. No more talk of graves.
Very often, there's no one willing to deal with bodies following autopsy work.
So you say autopsy labs have been something of an unavoidable relationship with graveyards and prisons?
Yeah.
Not my cup of tea at all. Do you remember the Scottish prison governor? Caden, his name was? He was a good man.
Yes, but then of course in our 6 years here, everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked.
He was thinking the same thing.
With that dreadful case.
Dude, Jigoku looks like he's from the Fire Nation.
Yeah,
When
you're not
Genshin
wrong.
was arrested for a series of the most gruesome murders. The impact he made.
Simply couldn't believe it. I'd known the man for years.
I was a witness at the second hearing and I tried to speak in his defense, but
But you went a little too far and ended up facing charges
Oh.
yourself, didn't you?
Contempt of court, I'm guessing.
well, suffice to say that after that trial we were sent back to Japan.
There was nothing more we could do to save Genshin. He was a lost cause, sadly.
I thought it was really popular, though. Oh, this is a great first episode of this game.
Well, if you'll excuse us now.
Yes, I'd like to get this trunk up to my room as soon as possible.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have held you up here for so long.
I'll call for the porter then. Just wait here. Dang, she went fast.
Legal assistant Susuda. Susuda-san's gone off on a run. And a run. I'd like to stay and talk more, but I do have various preparations to make for tomorrow. Yes, of course. It must be a big responsibility representing your entire country. I wish you the best of luck. Naruto, I hope you'll keep an eye on Susuda for me. Keep looking after her as you obviously have been.
Why are you saying that like you're about to die?
Oh no, I mean if anyone's looking after her, it's her looking after me.
Yeah.
But I do appreciate you being there for her. And after all, I've been a miserable father to her.
Oh, so you're self-aware.
I've thoroughly let her down.
Yeah.
Sorry? What do you mean?
You were never there for most of her life.
It was 16 years ago I started my long study tour here in Britain, as you know. the very year sister was born.
Yeah.
Yes, I heard. The birth of my daughter was the most joyous event of my life, but... well, sadly, it was accompanied by the most tragic event of my life, too. Oh, yeah. Something like that.
I remember her talking about that, yeah. It was a rather turbulent time at home.
Anyway, I won't bore you with the details. I'm sure it'll end in the court records when I die. That's a good joke. Or is it? But the point is, I became rather less dependable than befits a grown man. And it was then that Sashira offered me the opportunity to study here in Great Britain.
I was too worried about you to leave you behind. Perhaps I was a little heavy-handed when it came to persuading you to accompany me to London.
So, that's what happened in a nutshell. And that's also the reason why I now feel compelled to give my daughter as many opportunities as I dare. Though the world does not readily afford young women such things, I must say.
Yeah.
I completely understand, Professor. One more thing. Naruto.
What's happening?
If I may be so bold, I have a favor to ask you.
In orange of all things.
Really? Of course, what can I do for you? Well, the thing is,
I'm so sorry that took so long!
Miss Usato.
Now then, allow us to take your bags.
He
was a juror.
One moment, if you please, Porter. That machine around your neck? It's a camera, I believe. Well, I think given the occasion, we should justify the expense.
Aw.
He's fucking dying. I'm calling it. Nikitoba's dying.
They even got a picture.
Yeah, it's his final picture. Everything screams, I'm about to die.
Oh boy.
Go and read
I'd
a
like
line.
to thank you for coming with me, Mr. Naruhodo. It's really made Father very happy, I think.
Oh, well, I'm pleased then. We were interrupted before. Especially Nikitoba was about to ask me something. And that's exactly why he's never going to finish it, and it's going to be a mystery of what he was going to ask. It'll never get solved because he's about to get got.
Is that your theory?
That's my theory. I don't know if it's going to be this case or next case, but something is screaming that Professor Nikitoba is at the end of his line with the way they're writing
and
this.
we know how much Ace Attorney loves to kill dads.
That too. There's another thing I want to say, but it's probably way too early to make the assumption, but there's so much yelling at me. I'll wait for the end of the episode to make an
Shall we return
assumption
to
then.
Baker Street then? Yes, please.
Oh God, let's do it.
I expect Iris will have some delicious tea waiting for us.
Yes, let's go.
We better actually be able to
I'm getting more and more anxious about Cosmo, though. Perhaps I'll try to meet with Lord Strongheart later and ask after him.
Ooh.
Let's go ahead. We didn't really get a chance to look around. Oh
No.
God, I'm not used to the fact that it moves so fast now. Let's look at luggage. All this luggage is not ours. Well, this case is just left there on that trolley. Aren't they worried about thieves? I know I am.
Haven't you seen the porter over there? Don't worry, he's obviously keeping an eye on everything.
So it's a trap designed to catch any chancers who might be tempted.
He's got a camera too.
Why did the party give me such a scathing look just
I know
now?
it's just for,
I suppose?
hey, you want your photo taken? But like,
Yeah.
you could easily take a picture of someone stealing things. Well, some might say you look a little suspicious with your jet black clothes.
Not everyone clad in black is some sort of ninja with intent to steal, you know. God damn it, man. Anything about that? What about the chandelier? Okay.
Beautiful.
Have you seen all those sparkling jewels up there? Must have got every gem in the world for that.
Oh, sweet summer child. It's called a chandelier, I believe. It's designed to provide elegant lighting in large, spacious rooms like this.
Huh. How can I get one?
Some people sing from it, some people scream from them. Depends on who you ask.
Where can I get one from? So they had to gather every gem in the world just to illuminate one room?
No. It's probably electric light bulbs that are actually throwing the light.
If if I tried to hang something like that from the ceiling in the office, would it be scraping on the floor?
No, it would be scraping on the floor, he said.
Oh.
I think perhaps chandeliers aren't for you, Mr. Naruhodo.
Shit. Okay. What about, is that guy that we can look at?
That desk is known as the hotel reception.
Oh, the whole area.
Anyone wanting to spend the night has to report here to sign in for their stay.
Oh, so do you think that's the head clerk behind the desk there?
Yes, I'm sure it must be.
I'd love to stay in a grand hotel like this for a little while, wouldn't you? Just know what it's like.
If the hotel fee was paid through our stipend, I'm afraid it might bankrupt our homeland.
True. One gives the world expensive a whole new meaning. Gives the word expensive and gives the world a whole new meaning. Look at the. Okay,
Oh.
no. To the side.
There we go.
Let's see. Before I do that, I'll look at. I'll start with the tea set.
Nope, or
The
not.
tea set is not important, actually. Never mind. The only thing that is important over here is the picture
Yes.
of the Eiffel Tower or the World Fair potentially.
The Crystal Tower.
Is what they want to call that one. Yeah. Look at that. It's a picture of the Crystal
You
Tower.
mistook it for the Eiffel Tower before, too.
Yeah.
Well, the Great Exhibition is one of Britain's most prestigious achievements in recent years. I wonder how tall it is. It really does represent the pinnacle of scientific achievement in so many ways.
There's a 20-meter tall chimney in the bathhouse near my lodgings at Yuma University. The attendant there is always boasting it's the tallest object in the neighborhood.
I'm sure. Did you know that over the channel in Paris there's a tower that's 300 meters tall?
What? How many times taller than a chimney at Yuma Soaking Hot Springs is that? And if it's that tall, how does it draw properly? The smoke would get stuck, surely.
Oh, I don't think it's that sort of tower, Mr. Naruhodo. He's so
He thinks
naive.
it's a chimney.
It's
You poor boy.
adorable.
You poor
He's so cute.
sweet summer child. Okay. Well,
Oh.
let's see. All right. So the big place. Let's go to our room first before we go ahead and go down to the.
Which is ironic because we have to go through there to come up here.
I know. It's just like, hello. It's like I'm gonna be right back.
We'll be right back down. Just hold up.
Go up here first. Just examine things around a little bit.
Yeah.
Take a look at the spade, or is it a shovel? Spade is still here. Look.
Please, Mr. Naruhodo, it's not a spade as I think you well know. It's a shovel.
Didn't take long to reignite that old argument.
Yes. Ah, I have an idea. Let's give the implement a name, like Professor Hairbrain named his tools.
Oh, I never thought of doing that.
From now on, then, let's call it Ryunosuke.
No. It's clearly much more of a Susudo. The old argument has taken a new and unexpected turn, it seems.
Oh my god.
That was an unexpected turn.
Yeah.
Tea! How long has this tea been being made?
The steam is rising gently from the kettle as always.
Yes, it doesn't feel right somehow unless it is. But the steam has an unusual scent today.
Perhaps the sweet potatoes that I brought back from Japan with me are ready.
Uh,
Oh, Mr. Naruhodo, I heard that, you know.
Tears of joy, Miss Susudo. From my mouth.
In other words, drool. I like how that was put.
Yeah.
Tears of joy from my mouth.
What is...
We've looked
When
at this
you serve
before.
me tea, it always takes me back to Japan.
I know you're not particularly fond of the bitter taste, are you? So I do always try to pick out less bitter matcha for you.
She does often serve an unusually mellow blend, it's true. But the anticipation of the taste in my mouth makes me bitterly worried anyway.
Ha, bitterly worried. It is very difficult for you, isn't it?
I guess I'm not just seeing it in full screen. I'm used to it being literally a fifth of the size it usually is right now.
Yeah, I'm just like, has that stove always been?
The thingy... That Daruma doll is still winking at me. Look. I wonder when he'll finally get his other eye filled in.
Yes, I wonder.
Well, you should know, Susudo-san. I entrusted the task to you!
The truth is, I have already decided when that will be.
What? Really? When?
That's my little secret.
Don't you get it right. You see, I've been keeping my desk beautifully covered in papers, as always.
You really must tidy it all up, Mr. Naruhodo. No more excuses.
But Miss Susudo, the way I see it, All these papers building on my desk like this are a reminder of my wonderfully diverse daily life. I like to leave them as they are so I never forget how lucky I am to have such varied experiences.
In that case, you should definitely have a thorough tidy. Then you'll be able to see your papers building up all over again and feel that joy renewed.
Still can't beat her in an argument even though I'm the lawyer here.
She wins.
She always wins. The letter making station.
What? The letter making station? You mean a desk?
Well, I was looking mostly at the one box itself.
You mean
for the
like
making letters.
stationery?
Yeah, that thing.
Letter making station.
Hey, look at me being great with words, as always.
My desk is just as it was before I left.
Sue me ain't gonna calligraphy brush, even though we're in England now. That strikes me as typically you, Miss Susido, and typically not you at the same time.
Well, I do enjoy all the wonderful new things to come out of the West and the Cultural Revolution, of course. But I'm not ready to give up my brush yet. Just yet.
And anyway, Suso-san can write more neatly with a brush than most people can with a pen.
Practice makes perfect, as they say.
Okay, that's all for the desk. There's her room that we can never enter.
Yep.
Your room across the hall is undisturbed, of course. I don't suppose I'd be permitted to see inside now that you're back, though, would I?
You know very well that only Iris is allowed inside.
Damn it! Yes, I heard you two giggling together in there again last night.
You can visit Mr. Shulms in his room, Mr. Naruto.
I already do that all the time. I mean, last time I did that, he tried to convince me to drink some strange concoction mixed up.
What is he doing in there?
Lord knows.
Oh, he's like, I combine tea and coffee. It's the ultimate caffeinated drink.
Will power you.
All the sea life seem very content in there, I must say.
I've noticed something recently, actually. The anemones breed at a most extraordinary rate.
Oh, really?
It's a mystery why the whole seabed isn't buried in a mountain of them, actually.
Oh, how splendid! That really is a mystery, isn't it?
I wish there was someone here to explain Susuda-san's strange reaction to that.
She's just like, wow!
All right, well, that's it here. That means you got to go downstairs and go talk to...
Plot twist, Sherlock invented double shot espresso before anyone else. And since Ryu didn't try it, it was never discovered.
Well, we're going downstairs and go meet those lovely individuals next time.
Yes! New Sherlock content. I know it's Herlock now.
It's Sherlock.
But new Sherlock
It's
content.
Sherlock content. Let's get that right here.